Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 8th. The All-Star break is a week away, and we know them, and we're talking about them. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? The start of a week. It is a Monday, and that means we've got our hot and colds today, among other things we're talking about in today's episode. We are over the hump. We've been over the hump of the season, and the All-Star break is next week. Home Run Derby a week from today. The All-Star game a week and out a day. It's Tuesday next week. And the trade deadline looms even closer as we dig into today's episode here. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. I got to spend it at a small little cottage with some friends, so I missed out on some of the baseball action, but that's okay because I've gotten caught up and I'm ready to give it to you guys here. So with that being said, let's dive on into our series recap. Alright, we lead things off with the rivalry that seems to be heating up as the season goes. Red Sox and Yankees. Red Sox with a comeback in Game 1. The Yankees blow it. Yoshida home run ties it in the 9th. Rafaela a go-ahead home run in the 10th. Red Sox take that first game 15-3. On to the second game. It's Ben Rice, a 3 home run day. That one helps the Yankees get on the board. They'll take that one 14-4. And in the last game, Tanner Houck, he shoves Rafael Devers. He hits 2 home runs. He owns the Yankees. Red Sox win it 3-0 and win another series against the Yankees. Take 2 of 3 in a big way. Giants and Guardians. Now the Giants came up strong on Friday with a 4-2 win, but the Guardians bounced back over the weekend, 5-4 Saturday and 5-4 Sunday. Guardians take 2 of 3 from San Francisco as we head to Minnesota for the Astros and the Twins. A crazy first game here. 13-12 was your final, but the Twins fought in the end. 7 runs in the 9th to come back, but they do come up a run short. Astros hold on. It was 13-5, and then the Twins scored 7 in the 9th to make it 13-12. Astros did win that first game, but the Twins fight back. A 9-3 win on Saturday with Brooks Lee hitting his first MLB home run of his career, and then a 3-2 win for Minnesota with Christian Vasquez hitting a walk-off home run. Twins take 2 of 3 from the Astros. The O's and the A's. You think this would be a sweep for the Oilers? You would be wrong. They win the first and third game, 3-2 on Friday, 6-3 on Sunday, but that Saturday game kind of slipped away from them early. Oakland had a 10-0 lead, and they made it a 19-8 win. Oakland bounces, gets that Saturday game. Baltimore, though, takes 2 of 3. Rays and Rangers. This was a surprising one, to be honest. The Rangers are looking more and more to be sellers at this deadline as they continue to struggle, but they have a great series against the Tampa Bay Rays. They win the games 3-0 on Friday, 4-3 on Saturday, and then 13-12 for Sunday. The Rangers sweep Tampa, and that's a big series for them. Blue Jays in Seattle take on the Mariners. First game goes Seattle's way as they take a 2-1 victory there, but the Blue Jays bounce back and answer in Seattle with wins on Saturday and Sunday. 5-4 Blue Jays on Saturday, 5-4 Blue Jays on Sunday, as Toronto takes 2 of 3 against the Mariners. What are they going to end up doing at the deadline here? White Sox and Marlins, 2 teams that are as far away from the postseason pictures as they could be. White Sox get the first game 3-2. Marlins bounce back 4-3 on Saturday, and then 7-4 on Sunday with Jake Berger hitting the walk-off 3-run home run. Check out that home run walk-off call. Take that, Berger, to go. What a great one. Marlins take 2 of 3 against the White Sox. Phillies and Braves. This was a big series in my mind. Phillies came out swinging out of the gates to start this series. They take an 8-6 victory on Friday, but the Braves bounce back over the weekend. 5-1 Saturday, 6-0 on Sunday. The Braves take 2 of 3 from Philly. That's a big start for the Braves, but they got to keep things rolling if they want to lock up a division come the end of the season. Cardinals and Nationals, 7-6 Cardinals in the first game. That one was in the 11th inning. Nationals bounced back in game 2. They win that one 14-6, and James Wood hits his first MLB career home run in that game. Rubber match goes the Cardinals' way. They take it 8-3 and take 2 of 3 from the Nationals. Mets and Pirates. The Buccos came out swinging for game 1, 14-2 Pittsburgh. They hit a total of 7 home runs. They had so many they ran out of fireworks. They had to announce that on the Jumbotron. They hit 2 grand slams as well. All things Buccos in that first game. But the Mets in games 2 and 3 were the Mets, 5-2 and 3-2 on Sunday. They hit 2 runs in the 9th to go ahead and take the lead and win that game to win the rubber match. Mets take 2 of 3 from Pittsburgh. Tigers and Reds, it's looking more and more like the Reds are out of things as the Tigers come to Cincinnati and sweep the Reds. They take all 3 games, all scoring 5 runs. They win it 5-4, 5-3, and then 5-1. So they kept holding the Reds to more and more, or less and less runs, as the Tigers stayed consistent, scoring 5 runs as they sweep Cincy. Angels and Cubs. The Cubs get the first game on Friday, wins it 5-1. Angels bounce back, shut out the Cubs, take a 7-0 victory, and then the rubber match Sunday, it's the Cubs' turn to shut out the Angels as they come back with a win 5-0. Chicago takes 2 of 3 from LA. Brewers and Dodgers. What a start to this series for the Dodgers. An 8-5 victory on Friday with Will Smith hitting 3 homers in the game, and he would start the second game with another one. 4 straight homers in at bats for Will Smith. 3 on Friday, and then the first one in his first at bat on Saturday. That also led to another Dodgers win as they took that one 5-3. The Brewers, though, avoid the sweep. They take the last game on Sunday, beating the Dodgers 9-2. D-backs and Padres, what a crazy first game here. A 10-8 victory for the Padres. Manny Machado hits the walk-off home run in a crazy 9th inning game. That was a wild one, but that's all the Padres would win as the D-backs come back in games 2 and 3 over the weekend. They win it 7-5 on Saturday and then 9-1 on Sunday. D-backs take 2 of 3 from the Padres. And then we have lastly the Royals and the Rockies. The Royals slowly starting to slip away from this postseason picture. Needed this series, but just couldn't find it. Rockies take the first 2 games, 4-2 on Friday, 3-1 on Saturday. The Royals and Brady Singer shove in that last game, 10-1 Kansas City, your final. Rockies, though, take 2 of 3 from the Royals in the series. Now on to the game of the weekend, and there were so many great games, close games, walk-offs, whatever you want to call it. I'm taking you to Friday. Arizona and San Diego starting off this series. The D-backs, the Padres, top of the first. Diamondbacks strike first. It's a 2-run home run from Jock Peterson, his 13th of the season. Bottom second, Jackson Merrill will ground out, but that scores a run that cuts the lead in half, 2-1 there. Bottom fourth, it's Jackson Merrill again. This time it's a 2-run triple for the lead as it's Padres 3, Diamondbacks 2, and that would not be the only runs because then Dare Peralta, he'll double in a run, and then Kyle Higashioka singles in a run. Padres score 4 in the 4th and take a 5-2 lead. Then in the bottom of the 6th, they'll add Kyle Higashioka, his 10th home run of the year, a 2-run shot, makes it 7-2. And that would take us to the 9th inning. Up by 5. You're thinking not much. You're thinking Padres have this one in the bag. Wrong. Alek Thomas hits a grand slam, his 2nd home run of the year. That makes it 7-6. Padres still have a lead. Not for long. Couple batters later, with runners on, it's Randall Grichuk, his 3rd home run of the year. A 2-run shot puts Arizona in the lead, 8-7. You're thinking, oh my God, we just blew a 5-run lead. not the case, because then it's the Padres' turn to bat in the ninth. Jurickson Profar, all-star, hits home run number 13 on the year. That ties the game up at 8. You're thinking extras. Manny's thinking, I want to go home. 2 batters later, Manny Machado hits his 12th home run of the year to walk it off for the Padres. Combined for 9 runs in the ninth inning. Diamondbacks with an amazing comeback, just couldn't secure it. Padres jolt to the end. They take this one 10-8, your final. A wild way to start the series, and that was your game of the weekend. Okie dokie, now let's dive on into some baseball news from the weekend here. And it starts with the breakdown of the 2024 All-Stars. Now, of course, some of these players were named All-Stars, but of course are injured and thus will not play. Some were added as a replacement. Regardless, I have the list here of everyone so far that's been named as an All-Star. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 last-minute switches or dropouts, or someone gets hurt this week and then can't. But I'm just going to go through them quickly, just read off all the names and give flowers to these guys because some of them are very much deserving of it. So let's dive through this list quickly, go through all 30 teams and all of the All-Stars. We're going to be doing it by teams and by doing it from most to least. So the team with the most All-Stars, of course, one of the best teams in baseball currently, it's your Philadelphia Phillies. They have 7 representatives. Alec Boehm and Bryce Harper, of course, are starting. Jeff Hoffman, Matt Strom, Ranger Suarez, Trey Turner is also a starter, and then Zach Wheeler as well. Those 7 guys will be representing the Phillies in Arlington, followed up by the Dodgers with 6. They have Mookie Betts, who of course will not be playing, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, who is a starter, and Will Smith catching, one of the catchers in there as well. So good stuff for them. Of course, Teoscar Hernandez having a great season. The Guardians have 5. Emmanuel Clase, David Fry, Stephen Kwan starting in course, as well as Jose Ramirez, and then Josh Naylor also selected for the All-Star game. The Padres have 5. Luis Arias, rookie Jackson Merrill, Jurickson Profar starting, of course, Robert Suarez, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. is starting as well, but of course he is injured and probably will need a new outfielder for the NL. The Royals have 4. Seth Lugo, Salvador Perez, Cole Reagans, and Bobby Witt Jr. So good for those 4 there. Good for the Royals, of course. Astros with 3. It's Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and Kyle Tucker getting a nod in there. The Braves with 3, Ronaldo Lopez, Marcell Ozuna, and Chris Sale. Wow, what a season Chris Sale's had. A complete turnaround for him. The Orioles with 3, Corbin Burns, Gunnar Henderson, and Adley Rutschman getting the nods there. The Red Sox with 3, Rafael Devers, Jarren Duran, and Tanner Houck. Jarren Duran, what a season he's been having. Plenty deserving for him. The Yankees also with 3, Clay Holmes, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. Of course, the Judge and Soto starting. The Brewers with 2, William Contreras and Christian Yelich, both the starters. Giants with 2, Heliot Ramos and Logan Webb, and I'm pretty sure this is Logan Webb's first All-Star game, which is crazy. Heliot Ramos, he's kind of jumped onto the scene and he's just been amazing, so he gets a nod there. Pirates have Brian Reynolds and Paul Skeens. What a story Paul Skeens is. What a year he's having. College World Series hero, an MVP, a 1-1 draft pick, and now an All-Star. He's the first player in MLB history to have been drafted and then made the All-Star in the first season, his very next season. That's never happened before. So just an incredible appearance for him, an incredible moment, and it will be even more incredible if he actually starts the game. But that would be something. The Rangers have Marcus Semien and Kirby Yates. Tigers, Riley Green and Tarek Skubal. He's been absolutely amazing. Skubal has been. And now this is when we have the singles out there. So the Angels, Tyler Anderson. Athletics, Mason Miller. The Blue Jays have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. starting. The Cardinals, Ryan Helsley. Cubs, Shota Eminaga. his recent struggles have still put him as an all-star because of how good he was at the start of the season. D-backs Ketel Marte, Mariners Logan Gilbert, Marlins Tanner Scott, Mets Pete Alonso. Some people are questioning this one because Christian Walker isn't named an all-star, and he thinks people, Walker's been better than Alonso, numbers say, but anyways, Nationals, it is CJ Abrams. Rays, Isaac Paredes. The Reds, it is Ellie De La Cruz. The Rockies have Ryan McMahon. The Twins have Carlos Correa. And lastly, your Chicago White Sox, Garrett Crochet. Where will he be at the end of the season? But he will be representing the White Sox in this year's All-Star game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your All-Stars for your 2024 All-Stars. All of the names, pitchers, reserves, starters, etc. That will be playing in Arlington. So, good stuff there. And yeah, those are the All-Stars. What do you guys think? People, I'm pretty sure what I've seen online. Of course, like I said, I did get to miss a lot of discussions that I usually get to have. But it seems like people are mostly okay with these. People are, it's all deserving. The one question mark that I've seen would be Christian Walker over Pete Alonso. Then you have a different Met representative. But despite the point, maybe Christian Walker will get in if someone gets hurt. But yeah, those are your All-Stars. Now, with all that being said, I want to dive on into the Boston Red Sox really quickly here because I feel like they haven't been getting talked about enough, or at least haven't seen, this crazy comeback that they've kind of been on over the last couple of weeks here. They've been really good and holding their own for a little bit right now. Of course, we mentioned the jump they had into a wild card spot last week after they took 2 of 3, I believe, or did they sweep the Yankees? Double checking my numbers there. They took 2 of 3 from the Yankees a couple weeks ago in June. They then went on to sweep the Blue Jays, took a series against the Reds, split the 2-gamer because one got suspended. Then they did lose a series to San Diego, but they bounced back with 4 straight wins, 3 against the Marlins for the sweep, and 1 against the Yankees on Friday here, and then lost Saturday, 1 Sunday. They have been holding their own as of late. They've looked a lot better as of late. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and hold that wild card spot, 9 games over 500, and a game and a half above the Royals for that last wild card spot. And it just seems like things have been clicking for them. They didn't do anything too crazy over the offseason. The most remembering thing would be trading Chris Sale away, which, based off of the Red Sox last couple of years with Chris Sale, it makes sense on their half, but seeing the way Chris Sale has pitched with the Braves so far this season, they might be regretting that trade a little bit. Not to say that their pitching has been the problem, because it hasn't been. Nothing's really been the problem for them. Cutter Crawford, Tanner Hyuk, Nick Pivetta, all these guys have been doing really well. Brian Bello needs to, sharpen up a little bit. But even the bullpen has been kind of locked down in terms of, just overall appearances. Kenley Jansen has 18 saves in 19 opportunities. He's only given up 1 home run this year so far. Guys like Chris Martin have been great. Going down the list, there's just been so many pitchers that have been helping out and working. Tanner Hyuk, of course, named an all-star. Cutter Crawford, arguably just as good. That's been a strong 1-2 for them right now. And you go through the hitting right now as well. Rafael Devers, of course, leading the way, 21 home runs. He's driven in 55 RBIs. He has a 971 OPS. But it's not just him. Tyler O'Neill has been a great pickup for them. Tristan Casas has been great. Jarren Duran, of course, an all-star. He's put up crazy numbers. He has 24 doubles, 10 triples, 10 home runs. He's the only player right now that has a 10-10-10 for doubles, triples, and home runs. He's an extra base hitting machine with 40 RBIs driven in. Connor Wong, their catcher, has been phenomenal when you think about it. And then you go down the list there, guys like Cedane Rafaela, Emmanuel Valdez, pick a guy, and he's had an okay season, okay numbers to put in. Jamie Westbrook through 11 games was okay. Willie Abreu, Rami Gonzalez, Rob Refsnyder, when he plays, he's looking fantastic. I mean, we're talking about a full list here of guys who have been doing it for the Red Sox. Tristan Casas, I don't know if he's actually been playing or not. He's only played 22 games this year. I don't know if he was hurt and is playing, or has been playing and then got hurt. But regardless, David Hamilton, 61 games, 719 OPS. Like, they're slowly starting to do it. Masataka Yoshida just came back, and he's been putting up okay numbers as he slowly gets into the season a little bit. Had that clutch home run Friday against the Yankees. But yeah, right now, Boston, you're in a position where you're kind of fighting New York in a way. They're 7.5 back of the division from Baltimore, which, to be fair, Baltimore, I feel like, would have that under wraps. Right now, they're only 4.5 back of the Yankees. They've kind of crept into it a little bit here. And you have to wonder kind of how Boston's going to hold this. What are they going to do at the deadline? They have an off day today before a 3-game series against Oakland, and then they finish off with a 3-game series against Kansas City, which, in my mind, that's a huge series because a sweep there from either or will change the course of that standings most likely. And then they finish up the month of July with Dodgers, Rockies, Yankees, Mariners. So Rockies the only easy opponent in that mix. I'm guessing Boston's good to add. I mean, you can really make a run for things here. They have enough pitching that, and if all things go right, they can take 2 games with Crawford shoving and Tanner Hyuk shoving and then end up in playoff series where they may not have been successful off the rip, but they find ways to eat at pitchers and work things out and draw at bats. They've had a very successful month here, and I feel like Boston's in a position right now where they can add at the deadline and be looking at a strong push for a playoff potentially. So just want to go and give Boston some flowers here because they have looked pretty good as of late, and we'll see how things progress going forward for them here. But yes, in other news here, to talk about things really quickly, let's give Jose Miranda his flowers. He has tied MLB history, going 12 for 12 in recent days here, last couple of days. He went 12 for 12, not getting a single out, and that is extremely rare to do. No one's ever gone 13 for 13. He did not get his chance either. He flew out in his 13th at-bat, which would have broke the record and made him stand alone. But still, 12 for 12, super impressive for him and the Twins in general. So good stuff there for Miranda. The home run derby, mentioning that really quickly, it is in a week. And we only have 3 participants. We know it's going to be a new format and a new way. I'm excited to see that. But we only knew about Gunnar Henderson. We now know that Pete Alonso, the 2-time champ, as well as Alec Boehm, will be joining him in this year's Derby, which means we still have this week to decide on the remaining 5 people. I would think we'd need someone from Texas to represent, so I'm thinking of the Rangers. I'm thinking Adolis Garcia will most likely get a ticket, potentially somebody else, but we'll have to wait and see kind of throughout this week. I'm hoping that by Friday they'll have all 5 other guys selected and announced, but we'll have to wait and see. But for now, Alec Boehm and Pete Alonso. And the last bit of news here to kind of talk about is the Dodgers. They've been okay, 5-5 as of late, and they're holding their own in their division. But they have made the recall for James Outman, who I thought, it's important to bring him back and get things going for him. Of course, this year he started off struggling mightily. He played in 38 games with a 544 OPS. They sent him down to AAA about a month ago. He's played 38 games in AAA, and he's looked much better. 41 hits in those games, 9 home runs, a now 924 OPS for AAA. So about 400 points difference between AAA and the minors. So with all that success, he's been brought back in, and will hopefully continue to have that AAA success in the majors and try to kind of right his season, because that 544 looms large in a big way. He finished third in Rookie of the Year voting last year and has had the sophomore slumps, as well as other guys. Corbin Carroll hasn't been the player we thought he would be kind of continuing on into, but you never know with some of these players when their ups and downs, their struggles. Guys like Tim Anderson, sometimes you just never think a player will get bad once they get good, and that isn't the case. So hopefully Outman, only 27 years old, will fix himself up now that he's been recalled. But that is something I thought to mention, because James Outman, of course, is a great player, or at least was last year. But yes, that is our baseball news for the weekend here. Alrighty here, and just before we jump into the hot and colds, I just got a notification going back to the home run derby. I was saying, we have 3 of 5 and we still need those 5 by the week. How about 4 and 4? Bobby Witt Jr. will be joining them. I just saw that. So far we have Gunnar, Alec Bohm, Pete Alonso, and now Bobby Witt Jr. So congrats, Bobby Witt. That's going to be exciting. I think he's going to be my pick to win it all. But we'll see who else gets announced before I make any picks and predictions. But Bobby Witt will be joining the other 3 for the home run derby. So 4 down and 4 to go. I need to throw that in there really quickly here. But now we can dive on into our hot and colds for the week here. And we got some really hot players, starting off with Brenton Doyle. 11 for 21. He had 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 5 runs, 4 walks, a 1.886 OPS. Have a week, Brenton Doyle. Of course, Jose Miranda is here. We mentioned his 12 for 12, but for the week he was 14 for 20 with 4 doubles, a home run, 6 RBI, 7 runs, and a 1.777 OPS. Luis Garcia from your Nationals, 10 for 20, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.545 OPS. Recently named to the home run derby, Bobby Witt Jr., 12 for 24, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 7 RBI, 7 runs, a 1.500 OPS for him. And then Christian Walker, my all-star snub in my mind, 11 for 27, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 9 runs, 3 walks, a 1.467 OPS. These guys having hot weeks. But on the other side, Brenton Doyle, we mentioned, super hot. Ezekiel Tovar, teammate, super cold. 0 for 24 with 11 strikeouts. A rough go at things for him this week. Dansby Swanson, 1 for 21 with 9 strikeouts. Jake Myers, 1 for 22 with 7 Ks. David Dahl, 0 for 10 with 9 strikeouts. Usually I go with guys who have higher at-bats than that, but he struck out in all but 1 appearance. So David Dahl, you're cold. And then Josh Bell, 1 for 22 with 6 Ks. Will he get traded at the deadline? I don't know. But those guys, cold as ice. And that is your hot and colds for the weekend set here, or for the week, I guess, in general. As we now look towards our injury updates, that occurred this past weekend here. Luis Rengifo lands himself on the IL with a wrist inflammation from your Angels. Austin Martin, a strained oblique for him. Jason Hayward, knee contusion, lands on the IL. Colton Brewer, it's a Cubs reliever. I added him because he punched a wall after he was removed from a game, and that resulted in a broken hand. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. And the last thing to mention, Carlos Correa in yesterday's game, he exited after getting hit by the pitch on his hand. It looked pretty bad. So we'll see what ends up happening to Correa. Potentially will land on the IL, but we will have to wait and see here. As we now take a look at the outstanding performances from the weekend here, there was a lot of them. Starting off with a complete game for Justin Steele, earning himself his first win of the season. 9 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Paul Skeens, all-star, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Nestor Cortez Jr., 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, 8 Ks. Luis Castillo, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Tyler Anderson, all-star, 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 10 Ks. Hunter Green, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Yariel Rodriguez from your Blue Jays, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Sean Manaea, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Ronaldo Lopez, all-star, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Tarek Skubal, all-star, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 13 strikeouts for him. And then lastly, Brady Singer from your Royals, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 7 Ks for your outstanding performances. All right, now let's take a look at the standings check as we approach the All-Star break here. AL East, you know what? No, we'll go backwards today. NL West. The Dodgers, 55-36, still hold it. They're 5-5 in their last 10. 7.5 up on the Padres, 9.5 up on the Diamondbacks. Padres 49-45. Arizona 45-45. So 4 less games, all of which the Padres have won. That's the difference between those two teams there. Giants and Rockies round off the division. NL Central, the Brewers still atop with 53-38. Cardinals 5 games back at 47-42, and then 5 games back of them are the Pirates at 42-47. So complete role reverse there. Reds and Cubs still last, but only by half a game, and they can be in third with a win, with a Cubs win and a Pirates loss. So very close between those 3 there. NL East, despite taking 2 of 3, the Phillies still hold on, or the Braves still behind. Phillies hold on. Phillies 58-32, Braves 49-39. So will the Braves get 50 wins before 40 losses, or 40 losses before 50 wins? Still an 8-game difference between those two. Mets at 44-44, still battling at 500, looking for a wild card appearance. Nationals and Marlins round off the division there. AL West, the Mariners lose 2, but don't worry, the Astros did also. Astros 2 games back of Seattle. That's the race right now to keep an eye out for. As Seattle is slowly starting to lose grip on that division. Will we see the Astros back in first place? Most likely we will at some point. Texas 42-48. What are they going to do? Angels and Oakland round off the West. AL Central, Cleveland still holds it 56-32. They have a 6-game lead over the Twins, who are 51-39, and a 9-game lead over the Royals, who are 49-43. They've been middling it up as of late. Tigers, White Sox round off the division there. And then lastly, your AL East, Baltimore 57-33, still atop, 3 games up on the Yankees, who are 55-37, but they've been struggling. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Boston on their tail, 4.5 games back of the Yankees, 7.5 back of Baltimore. Tampa at 44-46. Blue Jays last in the division there. That is your standings check. All right, and for the upcoming series for the week here, we have the Cardinals and Nationals finishing up their series, and the Mets and Pirates. We talked about these 2 series, and today they have a 4th game today. So the Cardinals, Nationals, Mets, and Pirates, will start by talking about that on Friday. And then for the new series coming up for this week, Cubs in Baltimore taking on the O's, A's and Red Sox, Yankees at Rays, Guardians at Tigers, Twins at White Sox, Rangers at Angels, Marlins at Astros, Dodgers and Phillies. That's a fun one. Circle that one. Nationals and Mets, Royals and Cardinals, Pirates at Brewers, Rockies at Reds, Braves at D-backs, Mariners at Padres, and we finish things off with the Giants and the Blue Jays. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you everybody so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll continue to have great days ahead of you guys as we enter into the All-Star break next week. So get excited for that. Enjoy some baseball this week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much, and I will see you on Friday.